Hello everyone, my name is Khadija Macklin and today I'm going to be talking to you about Chapter 5 in our textbooks, Teachers Discovering Computers, Integrating Technology in a Changing World. And this chapter talks about technology, digital media, and curriculum integration. So what is digital media? Digital media are technologies that can be used to increase the learning potential in the classroom. Things like software, the web, interactive games, desktop publishing, and visual accessories such as still and video cameras, microphones, lighting systems, scanners, and printers. With many digital media applications, you can navigate through the content by clicking or tapping links such as text graphics, animations, audio, and video. So why are digital media applications important for education? Digital media applications are changing the traditional dynamics of learning in the classroom. When students have a chance to hear, see, and interact with a learning environment, they are able to retain much more information, making digital media applications a powerful tool for teaching and learning. Digital media applications also assist teachers in meeting diverse learning styles by combining interactive software integrated with the teaching strategies to enhance the learning process. It also allows students to become active participants in the learning process instead of being passive recipients of information, which increases student retention. So what is curriculum? Curriculum is the framework that sets expectations for student learning. It is designed at the state or school district level by a team of curriculum specialists, instructional leaders, and other experts. For curriculum to be implemented properly, teachers need to understand the curriculum and be empowered to adapt the curriculum in a way to meet the instructional needs of their students. Curriculum standards for K-12 education are a collection of general concepts that school districts expect students to learn as they progress through the grade level. They vary from state to state, and benchmarks are an assortment of evaluation tests administered throughout the school year in order to find out whether or not students are meeting specified academic standards. Now, moving along to technology integration, which is the use of technology resources such as computers, mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, digital cameras, social media platforms and networks, software applications, and the internet. These things are used in daily classroom practices, and teachers should use the appropriate technology to enhance learning at the appropriate times and to teach the standards. So technology can be integrated in computer labs, media centers, and in the classrooms. A computer lab is a designated classroom filled with computers and technologies for students to use individually or in groups. Teachers can schedule time in computer labs for entire class period and use computer labs for whole group instructions, small group activities, or individual student-centered learning. In addition to computer labs, there are school media centers that contains computers and other relevant technologies. Media centers can also be scheduled for use by classroom teachers, and both of these are excellent additions to any school, but research shows that computers and related technologies are more effective when integrated into the subject content and placed in the classroom at the point of instructions. So integrating computers in the classroom is more effective because computers are readily available, allowing for teachable moments. When teachers are integrating technology in a curriculum, they have to consider what the standards and related learning objectives are. They have to identify an appropriate technology that will help them accomplish their instructional goals. Then they have to create ways to teach a diverse population of learners with different learning styles. By engaging students in different ways, technology encourages them to take a more active role in the learning process. So here is a list of different types of digital technologies that can be integrated into the curriculum. Teachers can use computers, CDs, DVDs, digital cameras, iPods, and ebooks. When the students play a more active role in the learning process, the teacher role changes. Teachers will shift from being the disperser of knowledge to being the facilitator, which will motivate students to want to learn, guide the students' learning process, and demonstrate an appreciation for the subject being taught. The teacher will go through 5 stages of technology demonstrated here on the Welliver's instructional transformation model. The steps in this model are familiarization, utilization, integration, reorientation, and revolution. With changes in technologies, barriers are likely to occur. Some barriers teachers may face in technology are security constraints that impede instructional strategies, a lack of training, a lack of administrative support, a limited time for planning, difficult to access location, budget constraints, lack of high-speed school networks, and a resistance to change. For learning to take place, learners must be engaged in the process of education. Here are 3 types of learning processes teachers should engage students in when integrating technology. They are authentic learning, participatory learning, and anchored instruction. Research shows that using technology in the classroom motivates students, encourages them to become problem solvers, and create avenues to demonstrate creative thinking. Technology can provide numerous tools to support many types of instruction and learning. One tool students can use is the Britannica, which is an interactive multimedia encyclopedia. Another tool students can use is the World Wide Web, which gives students of all backgrounds, socioeconomic levels, learning styles, geographic locations, academic level, and learning abilities to access the same information. When technology is integrated in learning, students can build a scaffold, which is a mental bridge for building and understanding of complicated concepts. Putting technology in the hands of trained teachers, making it easily accessible, and letting them decide how to use it at the point of instruction are the best ways for integrating technology into teaching. Teachers can then use an array of teaching strategies to develop a learning environment in which students are encouraged to be independent learners and take responsibility for their own learning. When it comes to planning for technology integration in the classroom, teachers must plan the appropriate technology to achieve the desired learner's outcome. Teachers must plan how they will teach the curriculum, what they need to cover the content, and what technologies can be used to meet the curriculum standards and related learning objectives. Teachers need to prepare the classroom environment for the use of appropriate technology, and they must consider how many and what type of technology they have available for use. So here's a guide that teachers can use if they have a 1-computer classroom, if they have a 2-computer classroom, and if they have a classroom that have more than 2 computers for students to use. Also, when it comes to planning for technology integration in the classrooms, teachers may have access to computers on wheels, which is a portable cart with wireless notebooks. These computers can be transported from one classroom to another. One of the most important parts of technology planning is developing classroom lessons and activities that utilize technology. When planning lessons that use technology, teachers must consider skills and knowledge levels required for students to start and complete the lesson successfully. One tool to measure student skill levels is the Skill Assessment Survey. A skill assessment survey is designed to identify individual students' academic and technology skill levels and then create a starting point for developing instructional strategies. 2 simple tools that will help in the planning process are the KWL chart and the KWHL chart. A KWL chart is a planning chart that assists teachers in identifying students' understanding of curriculum standards and related objectives by having students state what they already know, what they want to know, and what the students have learned. The KWHL chart is an instructional planning tool with an extra component of how students will learn. The Assure model was invented in the 1990s by Hynek, Melinda, Russell, and Smaldino. It is an instructional system or guideline that teachers can use to develop lesson plans that integrate the use of technology. The first bubble is Analyze Learners, which the teacher will determine the learner's skill level. The second bubble states the objectives. The teacher will inform his students what skills and knowledge he expects them to demonstrate. The third bubble, Select Methods, Media, and Materials. The teacher will decide on the methods of instruction, choose the media format that is appropriate for the method, and select, modify, update, or design materials for instruction. The fourth bubble utilizes methods, media, and materials. The teacher will preview all materials and media they are planning to use. The fifth bubble requires learners' participation. The teacher will have the students engaged in the learning process. And the sixth bubble, evaluate and revise. The teachers will evaluate all aspects of the lesson, instruction, or learning experience and reflect back to determine the effectiveness of the learning objectives and the use of technology. The whiteboard is a useful tool in the classroom because it is able to give students a visual instructed learning experience when lectured to. Whiteboards allow students with various disabilities to learn better. Some students are good auditory learners, some are better at visual learning, and some are great with audio learning. So including text, images, audio, and video in a presentation allows everyone, including those with learning disabilities, to enjoy the lesson. Another benefit of using whiteboards in the classroom is that it helps students with hearing impairment to benefit from visual presentations. Those unable to see partially or completely can also learn more about a given topic using audio presentations. So overall, whiteboards ensure the learning needs of every student are met sufficiently. Learning centers are one of the most crucial resources to use while in school because there is always an abundance of information that is to be learned in each course of study for students. Some of the technology learning centers that teachers can incorporate in their classrooms are a Discovery Computer Center, a Modeling Center, a Scanning and Photo Center, and a Digital Media Project Center. In the Discovery Computer Center, there will be a computer, maybe one iPad, and different types of CDs and DVDs for students to use. In the Modeling Center, there will be science materials such as papers, glue, molding clay, scissors, rocks, journals, magazines, and ebooks. In the Scanning and Photo Center, there will be a computer set up with a scanner and digital editing software that students can use to scan and manipulate pictures from books and magazines. And in the Digital Media Project Center, there will be a computer for students to create digital media projects using different forms of software applications. Here are some tips for new teachers involving technology. You want to find out what technology the school uses. You want to find out if the school offers technology training. You want to determine how to upgrade your classroom computers or add hardware. You want to find out the types of software that is available to you. You need to consider other forms of technology such as VCRs, DVD players, projectors, and whiteboards. And you want to find out how to obtain additional supplies that can be used with your computer. In conclusion, the best strategy for technology integration is to place technology into the hands of the students and trained teachers, make it easily accessible, and letting teachers decide how best to use it in their classroom at the point of instructions. Teachers are the content experts who should evaluate all resources used in the classroom. So, technology integration engages students to create active learners, encourages individual learning and growth, facilitates peer collaboration, creates more engaged and successful teachers, and prepares students for the real world. The textbook Teachers Discovering Computers was used to create this PowerPoint presentation. Ebony is responsible for slides 1 through 8. Khadijah is responsible for slides 9 through 17. And Jada is responsible for slides 18 through 22. And as Porky Pig would say, that's all, folks. Thank you for listening and watching our PowerPoint presentation.